Good morning, everybody. I just came back from a trip from Japan and I find myself in another, Japanese brand car, Toyota Supra, and this is a manual, right? So, we got some twisty roads up there and this ought to be fun. So, I spent 2 days with this car. I got some things that I like to gripe and complain about, but I'll do it later on when we get to the top. But for now, let's find out how's it like to drive and whether this manual gearbox is worth getting over the automatic.
If you're looking for the best protection for your car, look no further to XPEL. I put my cars through harsh conditions like constant B-road blasting, road trips and occasional track days, and I want my car to look the best, and XPEL's Ultimate Plus paint protection films never fail to protect the paint on my cars while keeping it looking amazing. All XPEL's products, including prime window tints, come with an official e-warranty from the manufacturer, which gives me an additional confidence and maximum peace of mind when using their products. And this allows me to be fully present and enjoy all my experiences with my cars wherever I go and whatever I do. Click the link in the description below to find out more about XPEL's products and their official dealers in Malaysia. Protect everything you love with XPEL.
So, the automatic is really great. Actually, I think the automatic pairing, the 8-speed gearbox together with the V58 engine is pretty perfect for the Supra. But I guess there are enthusiasts who want the ability to roll their own gears, right? So let's see how it pans out, right? Now, I gotta admit this first. I haven't spent time in a Supra, even a 3-liter automatic Supra. Not a lot of it. I spent a little bit of time with it, but it's quite familiar because, it's a lot of it done by BMW. So let's see. Let's walk through how the car feels like as we go. So I've got traction control off. Oh, I forgot that rev matching stops. So I'm in sports mode. And one thing I like about the sports mode is that you get to decide whether you want the auto bleep or not. Okay, which is one of the issues for M2 owners if they know it, right? Oh, the power is immense. All right, steering wheel, numb. Don't feel anything at all. The only time I feel something is when the safety systems on the side is telling you there's a car on your blind spot. Then it starts vibrating, right? Or whether it's more biased left or biased right. But when it comes to driving, even in sports mode, and when sports means stiffer, it's just stiffer. It doesn't give you any information. I have to rely on my butt and my body to know what's happening underneath the tires. The ratios are a bit frustrating because it seems always a little bit faster. So it takes a bit of getting used to, especially on a highway. But even now on the B roads, I feel like, it's not that great. It's a bit frustrating because I have to make micro adjustments as I go into a corner, right? So sometimes I go in, I feel like I turn a little bit too much. I got to unturn it. So it is a little bit frustrating, okay? But the overall stability of the car, it gives you a lot of confidence to push it through a corner, right? Okay, this is a slow corner. Let's put in second gear. Just turn in. Look at that. The car just takes in so much grip. No drama. Just really no drama. And this car is rapid, all right? Let's just conclude that first. The car is bloody rapid. Jeez, it's such a weapon. Woo! Oh, okay. All right. So at least we can conclude that it is very rapid, not only on a straight line, but around the corners. That B58 engine just slingshots you out of every corner. It's amazing. And this the suspension, the chassis can take that, can take the power, right? No brake, start rotating the car, and then when you start to get to that nice rotation, when the car starts leaning in, you just throttle and the car just grips and grips on the way out, right? Of course, you got to be careful with applying too much throttle because it has a lot of torque. Look at this, turning in and just throttle. Look at that. It is so, the grip is so immense. Yeah, it's a fast car. However, there's a big however. I feel while the car is capable, the car can produce a lot of grip, a lot of confidence. The other thing that I don't like about the suspension is I think the rear kind of jolts a lot, maybe because I'm sitting a bit closer to the rear, or maybe it's a short wheelbase, I don't know what it is, but there's a lot of jumping around whenever I hit undulations. And I've noticed that it sometimes throws me off, you know, off my cornering lines, which is the initial complaint I have with the M2. And which is why I like the M2 competition suspension more, because they did a rose joint in the rear. It tends to sit more when you're going through around rough roads. So this little thing sort of came back into the Supra. The M2's problem came into the Supra. I'm so sorry, Toyota. I mean, I keep referencing BMW M's M2 to this because, well, personally, owning an M235i, okay, before, and then owning a M2 competition, and seeing the Supra, which is this Supra, I feel like this is sort of the lineage. or rather, when I had the M2 competition, I didn't like the S55 engine a lot. I wish they had the B58 in the, you know, M2 competition. Oh well, that's in the past, right? But yes, it is rapid, it is fast. Yeah, let's talk about some other things. Gearbox, not the most fantastic gearbox. I mean, BMW and Toyotas are not known for the really good gearbox, right? Okay, I do talk about what I like though. It's at least the shifts are quite assuring. When you go in the gear, you know you're in the gear, right? It's not that short of a throw and not too long of a throw. I think it's just nice if you're gonna drive this a lot daily. But the one thing I don't quite like is the clutch. It's kind of springy, so it just doesn't work for me, right? But it's kind of springy. But you know, after a while, you get used to it. You can, you know, drive it. You can feel the biting point. It's not that bad. Okay, heel and toe position, fantastic, right? This one, hats off, very good ergonomics. I didn't like how the Corolla, the GR Corolla, have their placement of the heel and toe, the brakes and accelerator. This one is great. Look at that. Oh my God, look at that, look at that. Just step the brakes a bit, lift off, and look, the car just leans in and yeah, sorry, sorry. Got a bit carried away on that one. Okay. So see, there's a couple of rough roads in front right now, and look, it just literally throws me around the cabin, like, you know, when I'm going through those rough roads, I feel like I'm I don't know, like, I don't know, just being thrown around like a kid shaking a box, and then you're in the box, and like, so that's one of the issues, right? With that rear suspension, I feel like it's little bit too harsh in that sense. All right. But let's compare this, say, to, you know, I know it's a different price point and different power point, but say a GR86. I think the suspension on GR86 is more talented, right? It gives you a different kind of feeling around the corner. This one doesn't have that kind of talent as a GR86, but you know, on the competency level, it is definitely there. Yeah. Still can't get over the steering, man. I think it's really the weak point of this car. Everything else is fantastic. Don't get me wrong. Everything else is great in the driving dynamics, except for the steering, except for this. Brakes, good. Oh my God, I can't put my foot down because the car is so fast, so much torque. There's torque to be found at everywhere, at all the ref range, and it builds so linearly. Oh my God, this is so fast. Jeez. What an engine! What an engine! This performance just overshadows the. Okay, I'm a big fan of Porsche, but I'm sorry, Porsche. If you're going to compare this straight six with Porsche's 2.5 from the S or GTS, this engine is superior, right? In its power delivery, in the way it just pulls and pulls and pulls. It's like, you know, you think, okay, that's as much torque you're gonna get because it's a turbo engine. You reach 3,000 and then 4,000. Like, what? There's more. There's more. There's more. Oh, hats off to you, BMW. You made such a good engine. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna get myself a cup of coffee, cool down a little bit, and then we're gonna do a walk around with the car and talk about some of the things that I really don't like about the car, and also why the things I don't like is also what I think makes the Supra a very good selling car and a very successful revival. Right? So let's get some coffee first. Whew. But driving, great. If you can forgive the steering, yeah. It's a good car. It's so it's fast, rapid. Okay. So, I just realized I didn't do any sideway things with this car, but I shouldn't be doing that on normal roads, right? So let's drive it smoothly, okay? But I suppose this car can really do some good sideways stuff. Yep. Okay, so yeah, driving's great. I think the rear differential is set up really beautifully. Steering, suspension not that talented, but can get it done. Engine immense. Gear ratios good. Yeah, good car, good brakes, everything. Right? Coffee time, cool down. Let my brain process everything. Okay, right? And I'll see you in a moment. So we are here somewhere in Gotong. This is a sales gallery for this property called Sin Kinti. And there's a Zeus coffee over here. So just fancying myself an Americano, alright? So this is the nearest place I can get one. And yeah, cheers to Zeus coffee, local brand, support, alright? So I'm gonna walk towards the car and then we're gonna talk about what I want to talk about, griping a little bit about the exterior and some of the interior bits of the car. But as I'm walking towards the car, I just want to sort of summarize driving experience, because it was I got carried a little bit too much in the car that I wanted to mention some things that I forgot to mention, right? So as I said earlier many times in the video, great power, great driving dynamics. I want to elaborate a little bit more about what I mean by the suspension, where I think it's not as talented, right? So first of all, don't get me wrong, it is very competent. The LSD works extremely well. It just manages the power so well coming out of the corners, right? So that's just really hats off to how great that was tuned. However, where I find the trouble with the rear suspension is that it doesn't absorb, right? It doesn't do much absorbing of the rough road conditions. Rather, it kind of tosses you around, and it can be very unsettling for the driver. It can also be unsettling for the car, which, like, for example, the GR86 does a great job at absorbing, through that rear double wishbones. Very talented, and yet feel like you have connectivity to the road. Now, this car feels connected to the road, but it reacts to a lot of the things on the road. So sometimes it's a bit too much, like it's almost like jolting you and punching you around. So yeah, that's what I mean by that rear suspension. But having that said, it is still a weapon. It is so fast, and I'll keep up with so many supercars around twisty roads like this, right? So with that, we're arriving at where I parked my car, right? By the way, it's a beautiful day, isn't it? Look at that, those blue skies. Yeah, and let's do a little walk around on the exterior of the car. All right, so we're gonna do a quick walk around with the Toyota GR Supra. Okay, and a lot of netizens, or a lot of the car enthusiasts would give you a nickname called Supra because a lot of the parts. No, it's a lot of BMW parts in it. As you know, you look at the interior and you understand what I mean. But on the exterior side, not one bit feels BMW, right? So I'll start by saying this. I don't like the design of the car. And those of you who watch my Monday night live Q&A with Horizon, you know I've been very vocal about how I don't like the look of the car. But that's me. That's me, Thomas. Yup. But in a car design, I think it's really successful. And I think they did a great job in making the car look like this, because it sells so well. The car looks special. The car looks like it came out from an anime, right? Like look at that. Look at that rear, right? Look at that. This huge bulging shoulders, and then diving down. No, it's a little bit like F12 Berlinetta kind of feel to it. And then you come to the front, the way it dives down, that I feel like it's an over extruding front, that overhang, all of that, all this crazy little vents popping out from the side, and this like really large hood that comes over to the side versus ending up over here. All this really crazy like design makes the car look like it's like a freaking kaiju or something like that, right? Right, so it's for me, it's a bit animated. It's a little bit crazy. It's unconventional. Look at the vents in the front, right? One in the middle here, and then two on the side. It's so unconventional. Looks like nothing else on the road. All right, it looks a bit like a toy. That's the word I'm looking for. It looks like a toy, and that's why I don't like it. But you know what? I think a lot of people buy cars because they want the car to look and feel special, and Toyota pull it off. Because otherwise, if it looks nice, prim and proper, then you'll look just like a BMW, right? Then what's the point, right? So hats off to you, Supra, Toyota, for designing this car. I know why a lot of people buy this car, because the way it looks, right? It just looks like a toy. But it should be, right? Because these cars are toys for a lot of car enthusiasts. Okay. I particularly like also, not like, but want to highlight the humps on the top. Also, something you wouldn't get in a road-going sports car, right? The thing that, I don't like is that there's a lot of unnecessary like things, right? So what gives it a great form factor, but I don't get this, right? All of that, okay? Which comes to the second part, which is the ergonomics, okay? So you open the car, you get in, And this, I'm going to see if I can get you in an angle. This becomes a major problem for a lot of people. I'm not that tall, by the way. I'm probably 172 or 173 cm. That's 5'7", I think. And see, I'm sitting at the lowest, and I'm still bumping my head, right? So that goes to show how, you know, in order to achieve this massive pillar up here, right? They had to sacrifice the ergonomics. Yeah, so I think that's one of the challenging things. Okay, so getting to the interior, okay, immediately you feel kind of claustrophobic, right? This whole roof line is really low, right? The door and the windows are really, it shrinks, so it feels dark and claustrophobic. And you know, I spent 2 days here. It just feels tighter than a 718 or a Boxster, which I own, right? The M2 is way more spacious in its cabin space, you know. So it can be an issue for some people. For me, it is really small. You know, there's no center compartment to store stuff. There's, you know, it's kind of like, you know, I have to go around to get things done, you know. So it's not the best. Glove box really small. The cubbies are really small and tight, you know, but you can still put some stuff around, right? So the interior part of it is not the most, you know, ergonomic, right? And as like how all these exaggerated forms are done, it's a pursuit for a look, pursuit for this big, you know, bulging look, right? That have a lot of sports cars like Lotus actually has and stuff, but it sacrifices the ergonomics, and you know, you risk, you know, spraining your neck or hitting your head every time you get in and out of the car. Yeah, so those are the things I gripe about. Okay, it makes it unpleasant, but then again, it's you know, like I said, it works, right? Otherwise, Toyota wouldn't have sold many of these cars. You know, especially in Malaysia, we see a lot of them on the road, right? So yeah, that's the quick gripe of it. Quick gripe from Thomas Yap of the Toyota Supra's exterior and interior. Okay, so yeah. So, time to give my conclusion on the GR Supra. First of all, I'll start by saying this. It is a fantastic sports car. And if you are thinking about getting your first sports car, I think the Supra should be on your list, right? Fantastic engine, right? A lot of things are done right. And even despite that little thing that I don't like about the steering wheel, I don't like about the suspension, I think all those are forgiven because everything else is executed amazingly well, right? You can learn and grow with this car. You can take it on track gymkhanas. You can just explore what it's like to drive a car, right? And then this will be your first stepping stone to other sports cars and stuff like that, right? So GR Supra, fantastic. The manual box, is it something that I think elevates the whole driving experience? I don't think so though. I don't think that the 8-speed is better than the 6-speed or the 6-speed is better than the 8-speed. But as a preference, I think the 8-speed would be, would be better, right? I find myself sometimes the car has so much power, I just want to keep my hands on the steering wheel rather than rolling through the gears, right? But it is enjoyable. It is nice to get engaged with the car and choose the gears you want to choose. You know, it does add to that fun factor, definitely, right? So I think it's just practically down to choice. I don't think one's better than the other. I think the automatic should be quite engaging as well because of all the other driving dynamics of the car. Yeah, so yeah, Supra is great. And would I pick this above a GR86? I know it's a different car altogether. Personally, I would pick the GR86 because I just love how the suspension rides on GR86. But maybe that's just me. I'm more biased to how the car handles than just pure outright power. But then again, if it's your first sports car, you want that special feeling, you know, I think, or your first few sports cars, then get the GR Supra. Get the GR Supra. It's so fast. It just mind blows me still, even now, how it delivers grip with that rear axle and that power, it manages so well, right? Yeah. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little vlog for me. I'm going to finish up my coffee and then get down to start my day, right? If you enjoyed this video, please help me hit the like button. Let me know in the comments what you think about the GR Supra. Whether you drive one, whether you've aimed to own one. Just like to hear your thoughts about also what I think about the car as well. Okay, thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel and see you in another video. Peace out and keep it 100%.